Just out enjoying the trails today, guys, and I want to talk to you about the 90-acre property that I'm trying to purchase, which is beside this 90 acres that we're on right now, which is my neighbor's. He's got the awesome four-wheeler trail that goes all the way around the outside of it. And yesterday I was finalizing the deal to put in my offer on the 90 acres that's behind my house and goes up to the east. And I'm so many thoughts, so excited about what we could do with that property. And I'm going to put that video on this channel because it's deer season and I'm not going to be able to make another Bigfooter video this week. So if you guys want something new to watch, this is going to be a bushwalking video. And we'll just talk about this 90 acres and the ecosystem and some of the animals that are here. What Gary is scheming, what I'm hoping to accomplish by purchasing this 90 acres. If I've ever done anything altruistic in my life, this would be the most expensive, that's for sure. Because I have a plan. I have a plan that I haven't even told my wife yet that I want to do, what I want to do with this 90 acres. And it has nothing to do with developing it in any way other than putting in a trail very similar to this. One little trail that goes all around the outside and having some spots set up where we can do movable blinds and more. I have plans to get a whole new generation interested in protecting what's here. This is one of the most diverse, special places here. There's a huge lake. If you go on Google and you look, Lake Nipissing in Ontario, look at the size of the lake that's out there. And this is the drainage from that lake. It's a special place and it needs to be protected. There are areas of waterfowl, you know. There are special snakes, turtles, frogs that live in here that aren't found anywhere else. We know that. The guy trying to sell the property knows that. And if I don't get the property, I am prepared to fight him on having this property sold and developed for $2 million. Which is his plan. He wants 13 units put in here. Well, he's got this plan that he's telling investors and people that are interested, this is what could be done. No, it can't be done. I will not allow it to be done because you're destroying everything that Mother Nature has created here. You cannot destroy an ecosystem like this as man and, you know, carry on into the future and think that everything is going to be fine with this planet, because it's not. Because this is just one of a million examples of this happening all over the world. Somebody has to stand up to these guys and say, no. It needs to be saved, it needs to be protected and cherished and loved just as it is. We don't need to turn it into parking lots and old people apartment buildings. You know? You can do that somewhere else other than one of the most specific ecosystems that's out there, which is a lake runoff. Markets have kind of come down in the last month and a half since I originally put in the offer that never got put in. And I'm thinking, you know, maybe this guy will consider my offer a little more now. And I'm excited because I'm thinking of all the things, you know, that we can do on this property. And the trail system I can put in, the blinds we can set up. I will buy more blinds and we will set them up and leave them up permanently. The photography, you know, that we're going to be able to do on this 90 acres. There's some really nice wet ponds back there. I'll be able to set up blinds and all of the ducks and waterfowl and early morning stuff that we'll be able to capture. You know, it's got me excited. And then I'm like, no, don't get too excited, because this guy wants $2 million for 90 acres of swamp property. It's absolutely absurd. It makes no sense. My offer is actually above retail market value here for swampland. Half of the 90 acres, probably a third of it, back there is underwater, and none of it is developable. And I know this because I plan on fighting this guy if I don't get the property. I'm going to stop him from being able to sell it and have it developed. Because of endangered species, it's runoff from the lake. And it's protected wetland is what it is. And we just need to remind the Conservation Authority here of what it is, where it is. Here's some photos of the Blandings turtles, which are a species at risk. Here's some photos of these frogs, you know, this and that, and whatever's back here. And I've got photos and videos of a lot of stuff. Fishers and pine marten that are back here. Lynx, you know, all kinds of things. Moose, deer, obviously all the regular coyotes, maybe even some real wolves. You know, making it mine and protecting it, putting it in a trail system. It's got me excited. I'm not gonna lie. It's got me excited, and I'm gonna be devastated when this guy, because he's greedy, doesn't even respond to my offer. But all I can do is say that I tried, right? So I'm actually taking the day off from hunting season today. I just need a break. I'm not gonna go 13 days straight like I usually do and get burnt out on it, and then I don't enjoy it. I can take my dad in small doses. I've also been thinking a lot about traps. Not those kind of traps. Camera traps. I do have a trapping license. I took it for school, but I've never used it. I have never trapped an animal, and before we get into that, I have no problem with trapping. My grandfather was a trapper, and I understand the diversity behind these systems and how they work, okay? So if you're not familiar, you know, trap quotas are set based on winter conditions up here and what animals are going to or not going to survive and which ones are going to become overpopulated, and that throws everything out of whack. They do all kinds of studies, you know, rabbit and lynx modeling and predator-prey modeling, and it's a very precise, well-known science, and quotas change every year. So, and it's all in an effort to maintain the systems that we have now. So if this year the predators are having a tough time, then, you know, maybe they ease up on the prey numbers that trappers and hunters are allowed to take, right? Things like rabbit and deer and all that, those numbers will come down. Moose will come down. Quite often people don't want to hear that, and they're in favor of keeping our numbers up. And who gives a damn about the wolves? But that's not how it works with the ministry, right? They're trying to maintain the whole system because they understand that you can't have one without the other and that they have to be in balance. And what happens if you let these systems run in a natural pattern, they go up and they go down. So this is a population of wolves, for example, right? It starts out here as there are not very many prey animals around, it's low. And as the prey animals get better in a 10-year cycle, oh, so do the predators. And then the predators get to a point where there's too many predators, they've killed too much prey, and then they collapse. And it's a never-ending cycle of this, up and down, for both prey and predator, okay? No matter what we're talking about, whether it's foxes, wolves, fisher, whatever it is we're talking about, that's the model, okay? And if man doesn't intervene, sometimes those populations can crash and be destroyed due to outside influences such as disease, okay? So if we have something new, a strain of something new comes in, it can wipe out a population because it may be on its downswing already, and then we throw disease on top of that, then we have a collapse. And what happens there? Well, we lose that animal in this area and we have to bring it back. And the ministry does do that all the time. We've reintroduced turkeys. It's one of the last ones that they've reintroduced here. And we haven't had turkeys here my whole life growing up. We've never had turkeys. Now we have turkeys, and it's crazy. But 150 years ago, there were turkeys here, right? So man does have his place out here, and that is to maintain and keep balance. So anyway, I've been thinking about traps and setting up traps as if we were going to trap a pine marten. Okay, make our box, make our bait, but put a camera in there. No trap, just some food. Have a nice day, Mr. Martin, and snap, snap, snap. Take your picture and a little bit of video. I think I'm going to do it. Something I'm passionate about is to show you guys everything that's on this property And I mean, we've done a lot of that. I don't have any video of pine martens. They're tricky little fellas to get. And a lot of the nighttime stuff. Flying squirrels, we've gotten quite a few of that, but I'd like to get a camera set up on a flying squirrel nest. That's another one that I've had in the back of my brain stewing for a long time. Of course, then we get into the whole world of forget trail cameras and get into the photography. Well, Gary just wants to have photos of everything with the big camera, right? So that's why I'm starting to dedicate more time and thought into the blind and putting out food and having a portable blind that we can move around to different places. And you know, maybe we do the edge of the pond one morning, then we do in the deep mossy swamp section the next morning, and then the next section we'll move up to the hardwoods. You know, I want to explore it all. I want to sit for hours on end in a blind and just see what we get in all these different zones. Where the fox up on the rock cliffs there had her 5 kits. You know, I could sit up there and look for foxes all day. That would make my day. Knowing what's here and protecting it is part of the battle. Cataloging it, enjoying it, photographing it is another part of what you'd get out of owning this. And I'll tell you guys, I already know what I'm going to do with this property. We're only here for a little while, right? You can't buy something like this and think, oh, I'm going to protect it for the next 40 years, and that's as far as your train of thought goes. I think I'm going to donate it to the city when I'm, 85 and gone out of these woods. I'm going to have a well-established trail system in here, and I'm going to have a well-established catalog of everything that's here and set it up as an education center, basically. Show the kids. These are the trail cam videos from these very trails that you're walking. These are the critters and creatures that we've captured over the years. This is what's here. Take your camera, leave nothing behind, go for a walk and see what you can find. And I think that's what I'm going to do with this property if I get it. I haven't even told my wife that because it's a lot of money that we're spending on this. But you can't take your money with you. You can't take it with you. So what do? You buy something like this, you preserve it, you protect it for as long as you're here and able, and then you get other people interested, and you have a society that becomes interested, and as a group they will have more power than I ever could to make sure that this drainage from the lake stays undeveloped and protected. I just have to be the first guy to get the ball rolling by purchasing the property and setting up trails and doing whatever I'm going to do with it for the next 35, 40 years. If I'm lucky. And from there, it'll be passed on. It'll be passed on with the most setup and forethought that I can put into it, where everything will be paid, and the city can just take over. There will be trails set up, well marked, mapped, and I know people will come. I've even thought far enough ahead that I would like to have a wired system set up for cameras with power available, so that you don't have to run around changing batteries and SD cards, but you would have a nice trail. Maybe you do that through solar, I don't know. But if it could run an actual wire, that would be pretty darn amazing. That's a lot of property to run power to. But I would like to have an automated system that, think of the sap collection. They've automated that as much as they can around here. Why can't we automate a trail camera system? Instead of having a dozen trail cameras out here, we have 100. Every 50 feet down the trail, there's another one. Have a station set up where we can actually view on a monitor. Have a little outshed building there with a monitor showing you feeds from 3 of these cameras, right? I've got cool ideas, and it's all to get the younger generation excited and interested in what's out here. Of course there's the possibility of unknown cryptids and Bigfoots and other things out here. That's what, gets me out here walking many times talking to you guys, the strange things I hear and see. But I'm still Gary the biologist, Gary the ecologist, Gary the naturalist, the nature photographer and trail camera guy who just loves what's here and wants to protect it. The real things, the things that I can prove and know are here. So we're not even including the things that could be here that we don't know. And those things that are here, they alone are worth saving this property. You know, every little frog that's out here, every turtle. So even though this would be a very expensive venture, I do have ideas of things that could help, you know, bring in money to set up blinds, well, to purchase blinds in the first place, to get them set up, to get trails put in, to monitor what's here and grow the system before I pass it on. And one trail camera video that I've done out of the 100 has made $5,000. I mean, it's inexplicable to me, guys. We changed the title. That's all we did, okay? It's the same fantastic content, weasels, rabbits, fishers, wolves, whatever is in the video is in the video. That's all the natural animals that are here. The same as the other 99 videos that we've made. But we titled that one Bigfoot Trail Cameras of August, I think it was. That video has made $5,000 in 6 years. Okay? And you know what? That just gives me hope that we can do trail cameras as part of the, you know, to keep people interested. I want to take it a step further and set up feeding zones and plots and pine marten boxes and get actual cameras in dens and nests and things, and take some of this stuff to local schools and things around here and show the kids and have school groups come out and enjoy the property. Again, I don't know insurance-wise how that works, but again, it's just a thought. It's part of the dream. It's part of what I want to happen here. You know, that is the most important thing. There are two things that I want to accomplish with this property. One is to protect it and save it from development. The second thing I want to accomplish is to get the next generation interested and understanding that they are protectors of all of this. I could just envision having kids, you know, between the ages of 6 and 12 coming out here and exploring and teaching them, showing them, you know, doing classes to show them, not only in the nice months, spring, summer, fall, but in the winter, show them, you know, what's here in the snow, show them the tracks, show them dens, and let's get some of the kids in a photo blind, and let's just see, you know, what do they see? Here's some binoculars, you know, what kind of ducks are coming into the pond, you know, and you could have like ID charts, and you know, the kids could check off things like a scavenger hunt. I used to do that with my kids when they were little. You know, 4 and 5 years old, I would take them on a walk and we would make a scavenger hunt list. Mushrooms and birds and all the things that we might find or see, and we would check them off as we found them. Kids love stuff like that. And the interest, once it's there, it's a lifelong love. Once you get, you know, once you teach the kids your connection to nature, I don't know a kid that loses that. I know many kids that have moved off to the city, they still hold that deep inside, and they long to come back. Oh, stupid people throwing their garbage on the trails that we hike, and you guys have seen all the garbage dumps we find. And I don't mean the old ones from back in the day when that was what people did. I mean the new ones. People who know better now, who don't want to pay a $25 garbage fee, take their mattresses out and dump them on the trail. You know, I get angry with those people. I wish I had been able to reach those people as children, because the children that were taught better at 6 years old don't do that. Anyway, I just wanted to share some of the thoughts and ideas and dreams I have about this property, which I'll probably never get my hands on because of greed. Because of the almighty dollar. The $2 million price tag that won't be achieved by anybody. Because nobody in their right mind is going to pay that for this property, knowing the uphill battle that they're going to have to develop it. And I can say that knowing full well the battle they're going to have, because I'm going to be the guy bringing the battle. I'm not even joking. I've got videos and pictures of species at risk, critters, and as far as I know, it only takes a couple of those to shut down a project like that, and we've got more than a couple. You never know. That in itself could become an expensive, terrible battle, and I want to avoid that. I just want to buy the property and protect it and love it. Wish me luck, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for letting me share some of my dream of what this could be with you guys. stay tuned. I'll keep you in the loop. As soon as I hear anything, I'll let you know.